Now on Sunrise, Oregon's special election is 2 days away. What local election workers want you to know before you drop off your ballot. Plus, a demand for accountability, a closer look at a letter to Portland Public Schools from nonprofits demanding progress on a project that costs taxpayers millions of dollars. Your news starts now. Good morning, and thanks for getting up with us as we kick off your Sunday at 6 a.m. I'm Libby Dowsa alongside meteorologist Chris McGinnis in for Daisy as she gets married. Oh. Yeah.
That's news to me. I didn't realize that. Well, happy,
yeah, that's right.
Happy marriage day to, is that what you say? Congratulations.
Yes.
That's what you say too. Yeah.
She's off on her wedding and her honeymoon, and so we'll be having some fill-in people.
All right.
And she's missing this rain.
I don't think she's missing
sad
it.
About that.
Well, we have picked up 1.25 inches of rain yesterday, or 1.28 inches, daily record, and the first 1-inch rainfall of the year. And in fact, the most rain that we've had in 18 months at PDX. How about that? Transition to what a glorious sunrise right now. This is from our Chehalem tasting room camera in Sherwood. Look at that. It's like a painting. It's gorgeous out there this morning. It's a little cool. It's 47 last check in Sherwood. Downtown PDX seeing a couple sunrise. Look at that. It's like the sun is just beaming over Washougal right now, and the rest of us are waking up to clouds, right? That's what this live picture shows you. It's 50 degrees last check at the airport. And as we take you to Lincoln City, our live look from our Chinook Winds Casino Resort camera in Lincoln City. Cascade Head off in the distance. We've got broken cloud cover at the coast. And out in the Dalles, it's 50 degrees last check there with a mostly cloudy sky. All right, there still are a few drips of rain here and there. Some in the Coast Range, a little bit of light rain up in the Cascade foothills. Snow levels today around 4,000 to 4,500 feet. No pass level problems, but just be aware that there could be some wet snowflakes up there. Our forecast for today much drier than yesterday. That said, it's not 100% dry. There is at least the chance of a stray shower or two today. Whatever falls will be much lighter than yesterday, and daytime highs will struggle to get back into the lower to middle 60s today. There is a hedge towards a little bit more sunshine late in the day, kind of like what we saw yesterday. Again, we're shooting for a high of about 65, still well below average for this time of the year. Our work week forecast for the week ahead features a couple of chances of rain, and we are tracking what looks like could be a pretty decent weekend next weekend for the Memorial Day holiday weekend. We'll check that out in just a few minutes.
Thank you, Chris. We are tracking several developing stories across the country. In New York City, 2 people are dead, several others hurt after a Mexican Navy tall ship hit the Brooklyn Bridge. The ship struck the bridge as it was leaving New York on a goodwill tour to Iceland. All lanes of the 142-year-old bridge were closed in both directions as emergency officials checked on the damage to that bridge. It is now reopened. In California, the FBI is investigating a car explosion that killed 1 person and injured 4 others in Palm Springs. The blast happened outside a fertility clinic. It severely damaged the clinic and several nearby buildings. The FBI calls this explosion an international act of terrorism.
As our investigation will unfold, we will determine if it's an international terrorism or domestic terrorism. Let me be clear. This is probably one of the largest bombing investigations that we've had in Southern California.
The motive is unclear, and it's not known if the fertility clinic was targeted. In Washington, homicide detectives are looking at a fatal shooting that left 3 people dead, 1 hurt in downtown Seattle. The shooting happened Saturday morning outside a nightclub near Seattle's Pioneer Square. It is the second violent incident within 2 weeks to happen near Pioneer Square businesses. A woman and 2 men died at the scene. They were all in their 20s. Another man was transported to the hospital in critical condition. Oregon's special election is just a couple days away, and there's still time to drop off or mail in your ballot. Saturday saw extended hours for in-person voting assistance. Celine Stevens spoke to elections officials in a couple counties about what you need to know before the big day.
Yes, I wanted to get my ballot in before the deadline. this happened to be very convenient for us.
Tuesday, May 20th, is the special election for people to vote on hot topics like school, fire, and water district races.
Everything counts. Yep, we pour through the information they send out ahead of time and decide who we're going to vote for.
Although the election is in just a few days, voter turnout is low in a couple counties, which is typical for special elections.
Special district elections can be anywhere between 16% turnout up to 40% turnout. The exact percentage that we are at right now is 12.1%.
As of end of day yesterday, Clackamas County is at 11.4%, so we have just over 35,000 voters who have turned in their ballot.
Voters having the option to stop by a ballot box or by a voting location in person.
We have 32 ballot boxes throughout the county, plus we have this office and the Voting Center Express where people can drop their ballots.
That Voting Center Express, located in Gresham, where we found Diane Herson, who turned in her ballot with her husband, saying vote by mail makes voting easy.
We live just down the street, an easy walk, and I saw it was going to be open today from 10 to 2. We'll get it in a couple days early. In Virginia, there are times we had to stand in line to get early voting, but you still had to stand in a long line.
Of course, voters can still vote in person if needed, and help will still be available on Monday and Election Day at the voter service locations, all of which can be found on your county's website.
You can also come here in person and vote in one of our voting booths if you would like. And if you need assistance voting, if you have a disability or if English isn't your first language, we can assist you.
Don't wait till the last minute. We want to make sure everybody's ballot's counted.
Celine Stevens, KGW News.
Before you head to your usual ballot box, double check the location. 6 libraries in Multnomah County are closed, so you may have to find a temporary ballot box nearby. If you're mailing in your ballot, it must be postmarked on or before Election Day, May 20th. In Central Oregon, 2 people taken to a Bend hospital with serious injuries following a helicopter crash in Crook County. It happened Saturday morning near the Prineville Airport. First responders say the privately owned chopper crashed into an open field in the area of a landfill. The pilot and a passenger were hurt. Their conditions are not known at this time. No one on the ground was injured. Portland police are searching for a man who robbed a mail carrier while she was on the job. It happened just before 10:30 Saturday morning near Northeast Alberta and 7th Avenue. Portland police say the mail carrier was doing deliveries when the man started pulling on her bag. He took it and ran off from her and an officer who spotted him. Despite a search with a canine and a drone, the suspect has not been located. The carrier was not hurt. Dozens of local organizations are calling on Portland Public Schools to move more quickly on a plan to build a center for Black student excellence. It's been 5 years since voters passed a bond measure allocating $60 million in taxpayer money for that project. Thomas Schultz has the update.
In a letter to Portland Public, more than 35 organizations, including the Center for Black Excellence and the Portland NAACP, are asking for a clear timeline for when certain checkpoints will be reached. By May 20th, they want to see a public presentation detailing when a site will be chosen for the Center for Black Student Excellence. By December, they want that site to be purchased by the district. And this is a project that's made little progress over the past 5 years. As part of the 2020 bond measure, Portland Public Schools asked taxpayers for $60 million to build this center. It's intended to be a place where kids, especially Black children, can grow and make the district more equitable. But since receiving taxpayer money, little progress has been made. It's still unclear where the center will be located and how much it'll cost to run. In the letter, the coalition writes, "This is not only a matter of justice for our children. Fulfilling the district's promises made to Portland students, families, educators, and taxpayers is a matter of public trust and governmental accountability." In March, we spoke to Portland Public Board Chair Eddie Wong. He says COVID, a teacher strike, and a change in superintendents delayed the project. Building material is more expensive too. Still, families in support of this project are growing increasingly frustrated.
You know, let's be honest, I wish there was more progress made. The longer we wait, the more expensive things get.
It's not moving as quickly as we would hope.
Now, Portland Public Schools does say changes are coming under new Superintendent Kimberly Armstrong. Still, this coalition of nonprofits wants to see immediate action. Thomas Schultz, KGW News.